However, despite the project's promises, illegal migrants, including bandits and terrorists, continue to cross into Nigeria from neighboring countries. Now, this really has been sparking a lot of reactions. And just this morning, during the Pages segment, we saw a headline where there were calls to the federal government, right, to open Nigeria's borders. Then it leaves us with a question as to whether or not the borders were indeed closed before now. Because if they were really closed, how did these migrants, these bandits and illegal aliens find their way into Nigeria? And why is it that there seems to be a rise in a number of insurgents or terrorists or non-state actors in Nigeria? So these are basically the issues that we're trying to examine on Eagle's Outlook this morning. I have my guest in the studios, who is a security consultant and strategist, Dr. Steve Okwori. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us, and Happy New Year to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Happy New Year to you too, and to our listeners.
Right. Well, you can join the conversation on Facebook and YouTube, where we are streaming the program at the moment at Eagles FM Abuja. Do well to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's very, very important. Give us a like, give us a follow on Facebook as well. Share the content. It's very important so that others can also be aware of what is obtainable right here in Nigeria. You can also leave your comment right there. We'll be glad to acknowledge your thoughts across these platforms. Now, to start with, Dr. Okwori, it appears that Nigeria is overwhelmed when it comes to the fight against insecurity. But for the federal government to be, insistent on its use of, whatever approach it is that we have internally to address, security challenges, what signal does that really send to you, talking about the willingness to indeed bring an end to insecurity in Nigeria?
I am happy to be here again this year, 2025, to talk about insecurity issues that have been bedeviling Nigeria in the last, let me say this, very democracy. It is the Fourth Republic, right? Because we have seen increase in security issues since this very Fourth Republic. Terrorism started in this Fourth Republic. Banditry activities, kidnapping for ransom, all that. We saw all that in this very democracy. Ever since the government of former President Obasanjo to date, they've been giving us promises, and of course, you agree with me that any government that comes, their intention is to see how to improve insecurity issues and all that. But to see how to improve insecurity issues and all that. But just the way you asked, do they have the willingness to see how to agencies of government that are saddled with one security mandate or the other? You have the immigration that has to do with not allowing illegal immigrants coming to the country. You have the customs not allowing contrabands coming to the country. You have the DSS that has to do with local intelligence. You have the NIA that has to do with international intelligence. You have the military. You have the police. You have the EFCC. You have a whole lot. You have for the control of small arms and light weapons. You have military agencies that we have in the country. Are they doing their job according to the way it's expected of them? Are they professional in doing their job? Do they have the will to do their job? Do they have the integrity to do their job? Are they seeing Nigeria as a project? Yes, we have the mandate to see that the constitution or the act that established us, are we, complying with all the details? I think that if these agencies of government are doing what they truly need to do, we won't be seeing these issues escalating. Now, do we have monitoring and evaluation system in place to see that, okay, they're actually doing their job? If they're not doing their job, what do they need to do their job? Government, or it's on the part of the operators of the agencies of government that are saddled with the responsibility?
Well, quite frankly, these are very critical questions, right? That actually comes to mind. Just barely 2 weeks ago, you were here and we talked about, the insurgents of Lakrawa, terrorists in, Sokoto, parts of Sokoto, even Kebbi. And there are also concerns that they've been able to find their way, to even Zamfara, all right? Mm-hmm. And then it's really a very disturbing trend. Now, it boils down to, the e-border project, right, which was launched in 2019. And from all indication, it has failed to stop bandits and illegal aliens from entering Nigeria. Despite the project's promises, illegal migrants continue to cross into Nigeria from neighboring countries, including Benin, Chad, Niger, Mali, and Cameroon. Now, the project's effectiveness has been questioned, with many arguing that the e-border control system has not been able to stop illegal migrants from entering the country. And just, towards the tail end of last year, we heard the customs saying that they had actually budgeted a certain amount of money to get aircraft, just to further enhance, their services, from that end. But at the end of the day, still relating this to the agencies that you've been able to highlight, I mean, whose sole responsibility is to ensure, internal security in Nigeria. Will it be right to say that Nigeria is actually overwhelmed?
When you look at it,
because when you talk about the manpower,
yes,
one would say that the manpower is there.
No, the manpower is not there.
Really?
Yes, it's not.
With all of these agencies?
See, the manpower is not there. I'll put it to you that now the police, we're talking about internal crime here. The police are the agencies that are saddled with the responsibility of combating internal crime. They are the lead agency, but the question is, how well are they even leading in combating internal crime? Kidnapping activities are happening in Nigeria, terrorism happening in Nigeria, banditry activities happening in Nigeria, and a whole lot happening within the shores of the country. It's the responsibility of the police. What's their manpower? Their manpower is less than 400,000 police officers that we have. So is that number enough? The answer is no, it's not enough. And we cannot continue to recruit 10,000 yearly or in 2 years. Of what number would that add to the number that we have on ground? Now, the 400,000 that we have or less, how many do we have that are policing our country and the citizens, when majority of the number has been taken away by people that have the wherewithal, political office holders and other agencies of government and embassies of government that have taken a larger chunk of the police number that we have? So the number is not enough, and the government is aware that the number is not enough. Now, we're talking about e-border here.
Yes.
When we have such a system in place and we still have immigrants coming to the country, it means that it's ineffective. Yeah, that's the point. How do we now begin to see how to make it more effective? In this country, 2 years ago, immigrants, non-Nigerians, had PVCs. How did that happen? In Zaria, over 500 were arrested with Nigerian PVCs, voters card. So a whole lot is wrong. I think the agency that has to do with e-border, policing our borders and all that, they need to sit up, and that's the immigration. We have seen monies. We talked about 9 billion here. The one that was awarded in 2019, that's about 52 billion, though they said it was supposed to be financed by a Chinese bank through a loan, and the money did not come and all that. Now the point is, Nigeria as a country has the resources to tackle issues bordering on security when we talk about the use of technology or any other means to see how to tackle insecurity in this country. I've said it times with Anamba that tackling insecurity is not a cheap venture, and I think we have the resources to do that.
Okay.
So why are we going for a loan from a Chinese bank, and process of loan, how long it takes. So immigrants can continue to come into the country unpoliced, unchecked, because we are going through a process of obtaining a loan from a bank where we have the resources. So these are the issues. The immigration is a revenue generating agency. We pay for passports and all that. Where does the money go? So we can as well say, okay, let us use the money that is generated from the same agency to finance the e-border project. So we are going through a ban, and that thing failed. So just imagine the number of immigrants that have come into the country that's causing catastrophe in this country, because we're going through a process of obtaining a loan from a Chinese bank to finance an e-border surveillance project. This government has come. I think they have succeeded in launching a command and control center where they can sit in Abuja here and other zonal offices and monitor our borders. But how well can they monitor these borders? But we have a lot of illegal entry, sorry. So if you are policing the recognized borders, the ones that are illegal, these guys are...
But who created those illegal entry posts?
Those they are also footpaths.
Okay.
They can be footpaths.
And they are not manned.
How? How possible is that? They are footpaths.
But those footpaths you're referring to, are they very far from, the legal exit and entry points?
These footpaths can be created. These guys are criminals. And when they are coming into this country, they come with an intention to come and cause mayhem in this country. So you think that they will go and begin to follow the recognized borders? They won't do that.
So can we not blame locals in these, villages for not even raising alarm?
No. It's not to blame the locals. How well are the security agencies working with the locals?
Okay.
Does the locals have confidence in divulging information to the security agencies? That's another question. I'll begin to ask this question about community policing initiative. What's the idea? Is to see that the police is in constant interaction with members of our local communities. We don't have security presence in our local communities. And we have a lot of hinterlands there that these criminals come pass through. In the event where they even see these criminals coming in, how quick can they send this information to the police? When we were growing up, we used to remember how the police used to carry out foot patrol. They park their vehicles, walk within our very local communities, have interaction with our people. But those days have gone. So a whole lot is wrong. Are we improving in our services, or we are going down? So the security agencies must be seen that they have this constant interaction with members of our local communities. It's not for the police alone. Community policing is an initiative that was borrowed from the Western world. The immigration can apply it. Interact with our local communities, especially the communities that are found around our borders. How well are they doing that? The customs can do that. Interact with, so that when they see contraband, when they see people, we have our own features as Nigerians that is distinct from when these people that are coming in from Mali, Chad, Niger, and others.
But what exactly are the causes of this illegal migration in Nigeria? Could it be that these illegal migrants, they've actually seen something very good in Nigeria that they would like to come, tap from?
Exactly. You think these kidnapping activities, especially for ransom, that over 2 trillion was paid by Nigerians, you think these immigrants are not part of it? I did my PhD thesis on kidnapping for ransom. Victims of kidnapping for ransom that I interviewed said some of these kidnappers don't even speak Nigerian languages. So they connive. Foreign criminals coming in, collaborate with our domestic criminals here, and they carry out these acts of criminality. So even the former governor of Katsina State, Bello Masari, he said it, that Nigeria is economically viable for criminals to come from outside the country to come see how to benefit from criminal activities in the country here. So they leave their country with the intention of coming to commit crime, and for me, they have found Nigeria to be a safe haven, right? Because if we either arrest or kill them, and all that, you think they won't send the message back home and say, "Oh, Nigeria is not the place to go. Our security agencies are up to their game and all that," and but they still keep coming in. So a whole lot is wrong, and I think that we must be seen to be doing what we need to do. Either we change our tactics, we change our strategy, and all that. But you see, we cannot continue to do the same thing and you expect a different result. In the last 10 years or more, we've been doing the same thing. So what has changed? The answer is that nothing has changed. Otherwise, we won't be seeing influx of immigrants coming into this country.
Okay, so before you suggest other, strategies that can be adopted, to decisively deal with the influx of, illegal migrants, bandits, or even aliens, as it were, the absence of proper monitoring and evaluation is the reason, perhaps, as to why that 9 billion naira e-border project, failed. But would you say it is actually deliberate, the absence of monitoring and evaluation?
This part of the world, when people are not held accountable, is a challenge for successes to be recorded. Seriously. Some people have this I don't care attitude. It's a Nigerian thing. It's a Nigerian factor. I hate to hear things like that. Are you saying that it's a Nigerian factor, so things should not go on well or right in this country? They must be held accountable.
But our attitude is very typical of, the citizens.
That's the point.
Nigerians,
Yes.
not necessarily the leaders, right? Or it's everyone.
Who is a leader here? Anybody that has the responsibility to ensure security and safety. It's not about, what we say leadership, it's not about the president or the governors or the chairman of local government.
But in the meantime, they are the leaders.
Yes, but people that are within the agencies of government that are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that there's security in place are also leaders. You have a dex, you have a responsibility, you have a role to play within that agency that you work. So you're also a leader. So when such a person is failing in performing his or her responsibility, and you want to begin to blame the president because he's the head of the leadership three, no, the answer is no. So when such a person fails in performing, such a person should be fired, penalized, and all that, queried, and all that, so that when somebody else is on that managing such position
Yeah.
or something, the person will wear his teeth or her thinking cap that my predecessor XYZ happened because he failed. So they will sit up. But in this case, do we have situations like that where people are punished, penalized, people are rewarded for doing what they need to do? We have seen situations where a police officer rejected 200 million naira bribe in Kano. Do we have people like that? Do we have people like that? So, when we talk about leaders, for me, everybody that has the responsibility to pay, even we citizens, we're also security managers. We also have roles to play. When you see something and you refuse to say it as a citizen, and the damage is done, So we are all leaders in our own right, but the ones that are constitutionally mandated, to carry out this act of saying that Nigeria is safe, and they should do their job.
All right. But now, you talked about other strategies,
Yeah.
because it appears we've been doing one thing over and over again. And since the e-border project has already failed, what other strategy would you suggest, the government adopt by way of addressing or curtailing insecurity in Nigeria?
Yeah. You see, technology is, for me, is the best way to go. And we must be seen to see that we harness the benefits that comes with it. We can improve on our technology, because there's a lot that technology does now. How sophisticated are the technologies that we even try to see how to use in the fight against insecurity? Do we go for a substandard one that will not give us the desired outcome or result? It's possible. You budget for a grade A modern technology, and you go for a grade D or E or F, you can't get that desired result. So do we have issues like that? And that is why each time I have opportunity like this, I query the ineffectiveness of the National Assembly.
Okay.
How effective do they carry out their oversight function? Yeah, yes, whatever they are doing, the job has been awarded to a contractor. You don't know what has happened or transpired between the contractor and the agency. So it's not left for the National Assembly to oversight and see, okay, what is contained in the budget? The contract, was it up to specification? The standard? You have to look at all that. It is not for the agency to check that. The agency can decide to do a bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Cut corners. So in the event where they cut corners, who now detects that they have cut corners? It's the National Assembly. There are committees that are there. For instance, Committee on Interior. How well are they oversighting these agencies that are under their committee? You know, so that is a way to go. Then I talked about the community policing initiative,
right,
where they must be in constant interaction with members of these communities. Yes, it's not technology alone that can do it. Personal conversation, personal contact. You know, you meet these people. They have village heads in this community. Establish a means of communication between these village heads, you know, so that in the event where they see something, they have a channel where they can pass this information. Do they even have that?
Right.
You know, so I'm pretty sure that they know what to do, because they cannot be there for over a period of time and they don't have a vision. Every head of the agency of government are appointed. We have a new Controller General of the Immigration that just came in about some months ago. She must have a vision. How well do I need to make this institution function beyond my predecessors? And not just having a vision. The vision must be backed with action and proper implementation of the vision that they have.
Okay, now we understand that Nigeria and China, they're actually planning some sort of collaboration on military training and arms production. Will this initiative have any bite on, the fight against insecurity in the long run?
Absolutely. I've always said that we need help. Foreign help, we need. It's not for us to begin to say we are capable and we are seeing that the issues are going beyond us, And I think when we say we are capable, I think we are beginning to look at it from the part of national pride. You don't want to, national pride. You don't want to make the citizens and even the international community see that you are accepting that you cannot meet up your responsibilities as security agencies. I watch and hear the Chief of Defense Staff and other heads of security agencies say that we are capable. Meanwhile, Nigerians are killed like chicken. Bandits activities are happening everywhere. Military base in Damboa, so a couple of days ago, was attacked. 6 soldiers died and all that. So these incidents are expected, but how prepared are we to confront these incidents when they want to happen? How prepared are we? So for me, it's a welcome development. China has the capacity to train our soldiers, our military. They have the capacity. When it has to do with arms production as well.
Yeah.
We have DICON, Defense Industry Corporation of Nigeria, here in Nigeria, that the government celebrated 60 years of its establishment. What's the essence of DICON? It's for arms production. For 60 years, we've not been able to produce anything. And that is why I keep saying that we must encourage local production of our defense military equipment.
Okay.
We must encourage it.
And you think they'll be sophisticated enough?
Why would they be sophisticated? They have specifications and they are standard. We must see that we meet the global specification and standard. We have seen criminals in this country fabricate local arms and they use in killing people. So when our own passes through the process of production, why would it be sophisticated? We don't even produce common bullets in this country. Bullet we don't produce. And the military uses averagely, annually, 200 million bullets in a year.
But have you also thought of the implication of, local production of arms in Nigeria, especially looking at how, volatile the security situation is here?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. It will enhance our defense economy. Do you know how many jobs it will provide for youths that are out there, that are not doing anything, that are idle-minded? Are you aware of the bottlenecks when it has to do with going to procure arms and ammunition from foreign land? You are going through the process. Imagine how long it took us to procure our Tucano, the Super Tucano. How long it took. It has to take President of US to approve of it. So meanwhile, while we were going through all that process, the damage was going on. So why must we wait until we get to see how to procure these arms from foreign land before they will be shipped into the country and all that? Imagine the damage that will be going on. So if we have a place, Daikon is in Kaduna, and we are producing our own arms here. Other countries are producing their arms in their country.
All right.
Dinel is in South Africa. Dinel was established in 1992, and they are producing arms and ammunition in South Africa to the point that they are even producing helicopters, fighter helicopters. So what are we saying?
Well, it appears we're lagging behind, all right,
yes,
on so many fronts. But I'll let you hold your thoughts, Dr. Stephen Okori. We'll go pay some bills, and when we come back, we'll be, the conversation will continue, and hopefully we'll take your calls, because we see some of you calling. Probably you have, a thing or two to say concerning the subject matter on the table this morning. Do join us in a bit.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just
20,000 naira?
Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. Hurry now.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Wow, it's Emirates. It's time of the year when we all start to plan our next holidays, and you are spoiled for choice with Emirates. Fly better to over 114 destinations and connect to over 1,700 more with their partners across the world. And what a way to travel, with bars in the sky, onboard showers, and award-winning in-flight entertainment. It's no surprise that Emirates was named the best airlines in the world. So book now on Emirates.com.
My people, the thing where they happen for my area,
Do you think I will now find out that you have contract to bring fresh girls?
I brought you from the gutters. Who gave you all the connects? MDG who? Without me, you would have been nobody. But
Join Media Coalition and Awareness to Halt Human Trafficking, MICAT, on I Wish I Knew radio drama every Saturday at 10 a.m. Let us join hands and kick human trafficking out of our communities. I Wish I Knew radio drama, brought to you by MICAT in partnership with the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NATIP, and funded by the Embassy of Denmark in Nigeria.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. And if you are just joining us, this is Eagles Outlook, live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Well, on the show this morning, we are, examining the failed e-border project vis-a-vis how best Nigeria's security can be enhanced. The numbers to call this morning to be part of the conversation, the numbers are 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Is this Moses?
From Senegal.
All right, good to have you. Please go ahead.
I want to first of all appreciate your great over there. You have brought us most of the challenge facing the insecurity of this nation. And I think that I wish our security will hear this to be able to put some things in order. My question is, and which is the question that the whole Nigerians are demanding, up to date when we have this insecurity, who are their sponsorers? How many sponsorers have been brought into persecution? Sometimes we heard that they get this and information, they keep them in prison, they will come again, break the prison and bring them out. Then the illegal arms, who are those who behind those illegal arms coming to this country? Illegal arms can be intercepted from our borders. We can only see intercepted who are behind, which country are behind this. That is the end. We will not hear anything again. You die under the carpet. Then look at it. We are talking about insecurity. What of the issue of repentance? The repentance terrorists. You allow them to move freely in the society. Repentance is called a terrorist repentance. Somebody who has been terrorizing people, killing innocent people. So what is the government doing about this? Why must we have repentant terrorists? Terrorists. Not a repentant thief, but a terrorist.
All right.
Terrorist is the mentality. Then finally, the issue of delay in persecution is one of the challenges that we see that these terrorists are making merchandise. So government should make sure that those people do so. Let us see them. What do we have a case or a law guiding terrorists when they are being arrested? Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Moses, for the truckload of questions you've asked this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Omoise.
Good morning, Felix.
And good morning to your guest.
Right.
Felix from Lambata.
Good to have you. Please go ahead.
Yes, your guests are really nailed the.
He's been able to hit the nail on the head.
Yes, on the head, my sister. That's what I'm trying to put across.
Right.
But you see, our problem remains issue of corruption. Like he rightly pointed out, the armed forces of the agencies are not getting it right. What stops the oversight function of the National Assembly from asking pertinent questions, if not that provisions are made for them to be also, for their account to be greased, and not only that, internal auditors and external auditors, what are their functions? When funds are appropriated and the funds are not properly used, are they not supposed to expose all those inappropriate actions? But nothing like that happens. Corruption. Except we get it right in the area of corruption, things will still continue to happen. A situation where others are made for grade A equipment and grade B or C is supplied and nobody asks questions. What is DICON doing? DICON can manufacture most of these military wares that are scientifically proved and can be used to tackle insecurity in the country.
All right.
But all these things are not happening. It's just unfortunate until we put it right in the area of corruption, until necessary questions are asked and people are held accountable and there is transparency in the system, we will continue to swing in a circle and will continue to lament over insecurity issues. Thank you. God bless you. Yes.
Thank you very much. Felix, hello, good morning.
Good morning, my sister.
Good morning. What's your
God
name?
bless you. My name is Elder.
Elder Noja, it's been a decade. Where have you been?
I travel, I just come back.
All right, welcome back.
My regard to your family, my regard to our sister.
Thank you very much.
You see, we should get started in sleep in this way. You see, I think that you go with. You see, terrorist war. Nigeria police, when they quickly fight the terrorist war. You see, terrorist war is a guerrilla war. Guerrilla war, they need guerrilla military to fight it. That's why we have done the government to establish a special force. The special force in Nigeria police can not fight insurgency. Because the country where is the training for a special force is going to meet you with their own communication. You see the communication we have in Nigeria media, we have in Nigeria police now. Anything goes 20 kilometers behind the communication man. You can never see anything again. Only a special force. We have one narrow wire, and then we have one small plane, like a chopper. We go to forest and put that wire. I think here we have MI5. You know, anything go on in that forest you see. And then the last time we mobilize your fighters to go attack them. The special force, if the government wants to inform it, and then they want to where they train the special force. To give us the equipment. There's many equipment where it's transferred to Nigeria and sent to any army in the world. The equipment where the special force are using. Go to America, and have established what I call that, where they call the Rangers. They are part of the special force. The equipment they are giving to them, they can't give it to any army in any country. When the problem with Nigeria here, we have the best army in the world with ground fighter. Means the Chinese when they are talking. And the Chinese cannot contest with us with Nigeria fighter. Like Chinese, they can never fight our soldiers. Look at Nigeria now. They must establish a soldier force. Let's try and establish a soldier force there. This my government. And that's why the end of this of Nigeria now. No comment of Nigeria, no Nigeria, no aggression, they made a peace Nigeria friend. They made a special force peace Nigeria friend. If Nigeria cool down, let me tell Nigeria again. The back there, see this thing. That's what the government is telling the national guard. National guard, we are training national guard on the position. Especially the people in the government now. This waiting they call the people in the government now. They are attacking Madame Badata and Moshe. You don't back national guard. If you say we train the national guard by that time, all these people don't happen in this country.
All right.
The main people, hello?
Okay.
Let me land up.
All right.
The main people, Madame Badata sent to abroad. And the people who sent to Liberia, they come to Liberia. We move to Sierra Leone. The people who capture a terrorist group, calling Scorpion. In Liberia, the way that place was into with the captures. When they bring them back, they put them to the local. When I'm backing up the government, they are Manu and Bossy to be on the people who are going to overthrow the government. But because they are in the charge of the army, and then the genesis of insecurity in Nigeria here. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria.
Well done, Roger. Thank you so much for, speaking very extensively on this subject matter. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Emma. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Coco, calling from Liverpool Road.
All right, Coco, please, you have 1 minute because we're working with time now.
Okay. Good morning to you again in the studio. My own thing is that I keep on being wondering when I hear that bandits are fighting and killing our competent soldiers. I now ask a question. If foreigner bandits could be killing our soldiers, so if eventually we have a challenge between this country and another country, that means they will defeat us. If foreigner bandit that is living within us would defeat us for some extent. So I think they should stop playing politics in everything.
All right.
If they want to do away with these people, they can do away. So our leaders should help us and stop playing politics over lives of citizens. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coco. Dr. Steve, is that really the case? Our leaders really playing politics with the situation on ground?
Yeah. You cannot take that away completely. First of all, we have to know that the leaders that we have are human beings, and they must play politics because they are politicians. And that's why we keep asking this question: if the political will is there. Yeah. In tackling all this, we can look at it from 4 dimensions. You have to look at it from the political, the socio-economic, then you begin to look at it also from, let me not say the political now. There's the will there, because poverty is a driver of insecurity. How well are the leaders, the effort are they making to see that poverty is reduced? Because anybody that is caught or arrested in the acts of criminality, they tell you that you cannot afford the basic survival needs, right? Food, shelter. Of course, they say a hungry An angry man. A
hungry man is an angry man, right?
You know, so when they cannot meet up these basic survival needs, they begin to think of alternative. An alternative is going into acts of crime. It's not a justification anyway.
Right.
The Lakurawa terrorist group, do you know how much they paid to induce youths in that part of the Northwest to recruit them into their fold? 1 million naira was given to each person that was recruited into their fold. And somebody will give you 1 million naira, come and join us, and they won't divert it. That's how they were recruiting. And of course, you know, these monies that they collect as ransom, they use it to sustain themselves and to see how to expand their network.
But they're not depending solely on the gains they make from the ransom collection. But we understand that they also have sponsors.
Yes, they have sponsors. They have sponsors. The monies that they make, let me tell you, I was opportune to interview kidnappers, right? How much was paid as ransom? One of them told me 50 million naira. How much got to him? He said 300,000. So the bulk.
So who takes the bulk of the money?
That's the sponsor. That's the sponsor.
Okay.
You know, and you see, they have derived other means. Now they know that when these monies are transferred electronically from one bank to another, it could be traced. You know, so now rather than transferring these funds from one bank to another, they now opt to be collecting ransom.
Okay.
2.23 trillion naira is not small money to be collected from Nigerians in 1 year. That's over a state's budget.
Well, the issues are really enormous and, you know, hydra-headed, I'll say again. The truth is, I wouldn't be surprised if I have to put a call across to you maybe next week to come on here again for us to look at, you know, security from another dimension or perspective, because it's actually ongoing. But in 30 seconds, is there really an end in sight to the security challenges bedeviling Nigeria?
Absolutely.
And you're very optimistic about that?
Why not? That is if we do the right thing. The right thing is what we have been discussing here. Even callers that called, they raised some questions and they made some comments or observations.
But looking at the body language of this, you know, Tinubu-led administration, how high are the chances of getting it right?
Yeah. I was opportune to look at his manifesto before he became president, and I saw some areas where issues bordering on even these porous border issues were raised in his manifesto. And for me, if they replicate what is contained in the manifesto into reality, we can get it right.
Okay. Yeah. And actually, you know, take your words for it. Dr. Steve Okwori is a security consultant and strategist. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the program this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And to each and every one of you who called in this morning, apologies, we can't even